So as you can see, this is my printer. I keep it very clean and tidy, you know. Gotta make sure your workspace is clean. And this is it in CAD, and here we go. Okay, so I know what you're thinking, there's just not enough bolts on this thing already. And yeah, I did use a lot of bolts, in fact 128 of them. It cost me about $30 on Amazon, but they're cheap bolts, so it wasn't that bad. But I did kind of get screwed. So this is the first rendition that I actually put together. It's the very simplest form, just a frame. It's got a little bit of a wobble. Because you can see the seam right here is a little big, it doesn't close perfectly. And also this happens. This is only 1/4 inch and it's quite a big piece, so it's not too surprising. But once I opened it up and kind of wobbled it a little bit, it really flexed. I mean, it's basically torquing. I don't know why I assumed these 3D printed blocks could hold all that support, but they definitely need some help. So this is the hydraulic piston, and this guy will mount right here. That'll make the max height of this case. It's going to sit on the table though, so hopefully I don't smash my head to the top of it too many times. But all in all, the frame and the size is reasonably okay so far. So I made it much more structurally stronger now. As you can see, the seam is nearly non-existent now. It still has a little bit of a wobble, couldn't forget to leave that in. I also mounted the acrylic, which helps with the stability. And now when I open it up, you'll notice that there's a lot more structural material in there, which is going to definitely prevent it from, walking like it did last time. I also added in these little magnets which basically help keep the case closed once the hydraulic pistons are actually attached. These 2x4s right here attach to the hinges, which help with the stability of opening and closing. Once again, mainly for the hydraulic pistons, because I mean those things are going to be constantly trying to open the case, and you need to have some structure to hold them down. It also closes much nicer with the magnets. They kind of help align it right into place. It doesn't, wobble left or right. It just catches. So, most of you are probably thinking LEDs aren't supposed to produce smoke, and you would be absolutely right, they're not. I wasn't thinking very clearly at the moment, and I plugged in 5 amps and didn't realize 12 volts 5 amps, and they obviously started smoking. And to solve that, all I did was just take a little converter and soldered it right to the power supply, and then nested it inside the actual electronics box. So you might be asking yourself, what is this box around your printer needed for? And I ask myself that every day after I built it too. The main reason in reality is for better layer adhesion for prints such as polycarb and nylon, and to have a cleaner and better print. I also did it a lot for noise, since I have elephant ears, and even though I don't sleep in the same room, I can hear it pretty well. Um, in reality, you could have solved the whole layer adhesion and sound problem probably with just like a cardboard box, but quarantine and nothing to do, so I kind of overkilled it.
The printer case was not really a smart financial decision. It cost me around $70 just for a wood, 2 giant sheets of 1/4 inch birch from Home Depot. The acrylic was about $50, and then you guys already know about the bolt, which was $30. A couple small other things like, certain nuts and the gasket, but those are just, a few dollars on Amazon. As you could also see, there's a Raspberry Pi right there with a camera attached right by the nozzle. I have Octoprint set up, and this lets me control the printer and also see my print exactly how it's printing layer by layer from my computer, which helps out a lot, meaning I don't have to open up the case to change something or check it out, or, I also have the windows to look through. I also did some 3D printing tests with the lid open and closed, mainly with polycarb, to see if the layer adhesion is any better or worse. So this is the first one with the lid open. As you can see, it failed. The print doesn't look too good. I reprinted it with different settings, and I got it to print this high, and then I realized that this is not the original Benchy. This is some weird Benchy that I found, and I did eventually get it to print with the lid closed, and I got this ugly guy, so it still looks like crap. It's a fail. And I realized that the bottom of it is very little surface area compared to the original Benchy, which is the reason why I kept failing and popping off the bed, because polycarb is really known for that poor bed sticking. So this is the first real Benchy with the lid open. All in all, it's a pretty nice print for polycarb. There's no huge gaps or poor layer adhesion anywhere. So I think it's a pretty good print. This next one is with the lid closed, and it is barely better, but the layers are a little bit tighter. If you compare them side by side, the right one's the one with the lid closed. There are a couple less, marks, especially if you look at the detail, like at the top of the hull. I'd say that it's a little bit better, but all in all, they're nearly identical. So I guess it's only left for you to judge if I just completely wasted my time building a giant wooden box or not. Also, if you're interested in this case, I have uploaded it to Thingiverse and GrabCAD, so you can check it out there. And if you own a Tevo Tornado and you would like to build one of these, the files are there to check out. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.